Hello everyone, it's my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the webinar, which will be a brief introduction into space-ready analog missions. Let me share my screen and we will start. Okay, here we go. Wait, I have some problems. This is normal. Oh, maybe now it will be better. Okay, yeah. So the webinar will be, of course, about our space-ready analog missions. This is a part of the bigger project with 3 universities that we work on the program, which will be a learning course to improve the level of analog missions in general. In our agenda of the webinar, we will talk what is space-ready analog mission, where it will take place, what crew will do, what is the recruitment process, many things you can read, but maybe I will clarify more how this will look after we evaluate your CVs and motivation letters, and then what to bring for the mission. So, first, we will start with the definition. What are analog space missions? Some of you for sure knows that we are now starting exploring this space in completely different way. We want not only to explore, but also to settle down, yes, so to establish new habitats, new places to live beyond our planet. And this is amazing. We need to work here on Earth in simulations, replicating selected aspects of space missions in order to reduce risk and in order to improve the crew safety and of course validate technology, that all these things related with living of people, of humans in space will be important and of course very critical. What is space-ready analog mission? So space-ready analog mission, I already said something, it is a simulation of space mission in isolation. And this is a practical part of our learning course that we develop within the Erasmus Plus program. The aim is to increase the quality of analog missions to academic level. So this is our goal, our mission, to make the level of analog missions more attractive to you, honestly. By you, I mean students, scientists, everybody who wants to develop human spaceflight research and, of course, technologies. What we will not simulate during our analog missions is definitely no microgravity. Of course, the simulation will happen on Earth, in the habitat on Earth, so we will be in 1G environment. Then the isolation. By isolation, we mean that you will be deprived from sunlight through whole time of the mission, what means 7 days of complete isolation from sunlight and probably a bit isolation from time. This you can feel. We will not have pre-training as real astronauts, so there is no time really for that. Beside e-learning course that we will provide you before your mission, and beside materials and documentation that we will share with you in advance. The missions code, well, there will be many aspects to learn, many new things that you will see. For sure, very interesting thing is that you will don flight suits. Maybe they will not look like here on these astronauts, but each of you will get your own flight suit and your mission patch and educational set that we will prepare. And this will be the mission manual, the course about analog missions, of course, emergency procedures, which we will train and you will be evaluated in the habitat, and then, of course, the habitat manual itself. So you need to know what rules are in the habitat, what you can do, what you cannot do, what are safety issues, all procedures that need to be followed. Each crew member will sign documents. Of course, in order to be safe, we need to be sure that you are healthy and you enter the isolation in a healthy state. Another document is consent. Consent for sharing your private data, such as physiological data, such as monitoring of your behavior. Of course, these are for safety purposes and for science. So everything we will explain you, each experiment will be clearly explained and described to you. Of course, you may not agree to contribute to specific experiment. No problem with that. But we recommend you to be like an astronaut. Yes, so to follow all experiments that are on board of the station. Each crew member will obtain certificate after you finish your mission. And this certification we usually do after you egress the habitat. So we are coming to you and then we celebrate. What are challenges in the habitat and that you need to consider is that you will live for 7 days in isolation and confinement. Well, another thing is that you will live with limited resources. The food will be provided, but it will not be ad libitum. Yes, the same with water. You will have 2 liters of drinkable water per day per person and 5 liters of technical water per day per person. This means that you will not have a shower, but this is the same as on ISS, yes? On International Space Station, you don't have a shower. Of course, we will keep hygienic state, so don't worry. We have all hygienic substrates to keep you clean and comfortably. This will be, of course, wet wipes, dry shampoos, toothpastes, everything will be on site. Then what are challenges? Of course, the habitat is completely new environment for you. Therefore, you may observe in your behavior some symptoms of psychological stress. And this we will, of course, try to monitor, try to understand and analyze, which will be cool. And then, of course, based on all this data that we will obtain during these 7 days, we want to improve the system reliability, the system sustainability, safety, everything. All these things are key drivers for analog missions. Where will the missions be organized? Everybody who will come to Poland will be first invited, just coming from Balice Airport, to our main building at AGH University of Kraków, which is the Faculty of Space Technologies. On the second floor, there is the place where we will all meet. I will share information, the details to you, and we will meet there. Then next, once we have the initial meeting, first introductory phase of our pre-training, we will go to the habitat site. The location is in a very nice place, far away from cities, and more or less it is 2 hours drive from Kraków. Of course, we will provide you this transport, so you don't need to worry about anything. Just maybe try to be packed in some nice suitcases, in some nice, luggage that it is easy to handle. And first, we will visit Queen Jadwiga Astronomical Observatory at Rzepiennik Biskupi, where you will see the astronaut forest, where you will see some beautiful educational boards of astronauts, cosmonauts, first people in space, first people on the moon. Everything is there. I think it will be very exciting. And then just after we start at the Queen Jadwiga astronomical observatory, we move directly to the habitat. Habitat is located very closely to astronomical observatory, and we will follow the pre-training. This time we will work on procedures, on safety rules, and everything what must be done before your mission. So all basic measurements, all things that must be done in advance. After 7 days of isolation, you will be transferred back again to Krakow. This is the habitat. I intentionally don't show you the habitat in general because we want to study adaptation, your adaptation to a new environment. The habitat is still under construction, I would say, because we need to adapt it to your missions. So still we are working on equipment, working on environmental sensors, where to put it, how to make this space the most pleasant and comfortable for you. But in general, I can already tell you that we need to be careful in isolation with biohazard because this is one of the most critical thing in the habitat. Yes, you will be living through whole week together without any possibility to go outside. Of course, if you decide, okay, I'm done, I cannot sustain this isolation, of course, anytime you want, you can leave. But this means that your mission for you is terminated. Yes. So in the habitat, we will have a specialized equipment, very nice equipment, you will like it. So we have prototyping laboratory, we have medical laboratory, we have electronic laboratory, which we call tech lab. Of course, we have mesa where we eat, where we socialize, watch movies, whatever. This is very nice. And then we have a gravity lab. You can see here on the photo on the left side two gyroscopes. These are gyroscopes for humans. One is 2D gyroscope and one 3D. Of course, you will be using it. Here you also have a view for 3D printing room where analog astronauts are working. They are also working on their laptops, writing reports. Everything can be done nicely. The total area is quite large. You will be crew, maybe 8 people. We will see how much will be recruited, but you can count from 6 to, I don't know, 10 people will be during your mission. And because of that, we have quite large space. This is like a whole open space, 255 square meters. We have gym. Gym will be nice for you, so you can train a lot, similar as astronauts on ISS. It means 2 hours of training. Of course, we have kitchen, we have hygienic module, everything is there. And of course, we have bedroom module, but it is not labeled here. It's just labeled as Node B. Okay, what will be the key activities? Well, the key activities will be several experiments that you will have. Once experiments are related to bioethical committee agreements, we already applied for this, so it will be under huge control, and this will be a real research. And another thing is education. So we want to show you what you can do in the habitat and how you can do it. And then the habitat equipment here, you can see more or less what we have: electronic lab, 3D printers, of course, ultrasound, bioreactors, hydroponic systems, many things, everything you will get. The recruitment process, well, you are already knowing how to be selected. We expect your CV, motivation letter. And then once the crew is selected, we organize online meeting for the crew. And then we expect all documentation to be sent. When we collect all documents, then we get you the final approval. That's it. The mission scenario will be developed once we have the crew. We see what are your specializations, what are your experiences. So based on this, we will provide you some experiments on board and your mission scenario. So to finish this brief webinar, please bring your laptops, mobile phones, please bring sport gloves and shoes. This is very important because we want to combine all technology and human factors in this operational area. For more information, please go to aatc.edu.pl. For analog mission, there are many informations, and I hope to meet you soon on board. Thank you so much for that.